Reunion. Hello, y'all. I was selling crack on a private jet up in the hell and back. But no confusion, this a reunion. Hello, y'all. Welcome back. Get murder here. He counting money. He said, "Can man, the hell with rap. I'm only here to shit on niggas and piss on bitches. Welcome ass. I bought jewelry and bikes, nigga. Black Benzes and white Vickers. Now I'm out here and I'm looking for more chandeliers and light fixtures. Nah, I don't like niggas. What's wrong with me? I'm a hype nigga, but this 44 turn to Michael Jordan. I look and say, take flight, nigga.
Welcome back to It Is What It Is. This episode is sponsored by Underdog Fantasy. The app is an easy way to make some cash just by making picks on your favorite players. Underdog is available in more than 30 states, including California, Texas, and New York, just to name a few. Make sure to support the show by hitting the link in the bio and downloading the Underdog Fantasy app. They'll also match your first deposit up to $100, and you get a special pick when you sign up. I'm Treasure Wilson, aka Stat Baby, along with your host Mase, and today we are joined with our analyst Maurice Clarett.
What's happening?
What's going on?
Everything. My Knicks, baby. My Knicks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard Knicks say I can't come back home, but you know when I heard that? When I was back home.
Nick was talking crazy to you.
Yeah, they said, yeah, I'm hear things. I hear things, you know. Yeah, man. Stat, how you doing today?
I'm good. And then before we even get into the questions, we got to talk about the shirts, y'all.
Oh, my goodness. I thought she was talking about the Duck Bucks, but she's not talking about the Duck Bucks. She's talking about what you got on. Mark Jackson. Let's troll Mark Jackson right now.
Yeah, we're going to. Hey, Mark, remember, I watch your podcast. I watched what you and your son said. Y'all said that the Pacers was going to mollywop the Knicks, and you was being politically correct as usual, right? And we just here to let you know that New York is here to transition on to the New York or to the Eastern Conference Finals, baby. One more game, baby.
Mollywop was crazy though, but I
Hey, well, mark me off limits with the pause words. Pause.
Yeah. I mean, Mark, you would think he's torn pause because he's from New York, but he played in Indiana when New York, I guess, traded him or so. I don't know for sure. Or did he leave on his own? Was it a LeBron thing? But I remember he left New York. He went and played with the Pacers. And you know, he came back with Reggie Miller when he did all of this.
Choking.
Yeah, you know. So
no, I will say this too. I forgot all about this. So I'm glad you mentioned shirt Stat. I will say this: everybody who's getting an email from me, in your email, a link for the shirts. It is what it is, merch. That is from me, but it's so many emails that I couldn't respond to everybody. So that is one me 100% sending a link. So I got a bunch of emails back saying, "Yo, is this actually you?" Yes, it is actually me, and it's me sending the link. But if you want to go check out the shirts, it is what it is, merch.com. So thanks for Stat for saying that, reminded me, but this was all about trolling my man, Mark Jackson, today. And we let you know what time it is.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Watching, make sure y'all go get you a shirt.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so gotta start with the Knicks. The Pacers lose to the Knicks 121-91, with the Knicks leading the series 3-2. Just in general, I'm sure this is gonna be a great discussion. How do you guys both feel about the state of the Knicks right now? Please remember, you guys' previous conversations and thoughts were seen. So
He's talking to you, mate.
Yeah, Stat trying to be diplomatic. Damn,
No, I'll say this, like on a serious note before I start joking. It was obvious that there was a different level of energy and aggression and excitement and all of that stuff that you get from a playoff team playing at their home court. That was obvious, right? if you go back and watch what they were playing like in Indiana, they damn near seemed dead. You know what I'm saying? Just a defensive play, just the rebounding, everything that they were doing, be it with turnovers. So they won a turnover. I don't have the stats in front of me, but I'm pretty sure they won the turnover ratio by a large margin. I'm pretty sure that they won the rebound war by a lot. And I guarantee you, if you had one of those statisticians who were just crazy with the stats, all of the buckets that they made post turnovers and rebounds, it was just like crazy. And just the energy in general and the look in my man Jalen Brunson's eyes was ruthless again. And he looked like I'm here at my house. I'm here to like like they say, big players make big plays in big games. He was here to claim his moment in New York City. And so I enjoyed watching it. I enjoyed just the same thing I said. My man Scott Foster, the refs, thanks for the extra calls. We love you for it. And but I'm here for New York to win and go play Boston after they beat up on my boys in Cleveland. So I don't know. What's your thoughts on
it? Well, actually, Stat said, remember what we said earlier. Like, I don't remember what I said. I said that there's a difference between 30 and 40. Do you remember that? I said, there's a difference. I was trying to tell Killer that. I said, he said, so what's the difference? The difference is yesterday, he had 40. Brunson had 44. If I'm correct, is that correct, Stat? You're the statistician. You're the stat baby, right? I'm gonna throw rocks at the heavens. Here we go. You said this, so there's a difference between 30 and 40. He gets 44 and they win. And this is a double shot because Killer said that when he gets 40, they don't win. So here goes another. I'm really happy about this because I get to outshine Stat and Killer on the same night. I mean, when he gets 44, it's evident that the experts know what they know, man. We got to leave this stuff up to the basketball gods, man. And it was a blowout. They won 91 to 121
by 30.
And I keep hearing Nick talk about there's a game on Friday, then there's a game on Sunday. Ain't nobody having no game on Sunday. The games won't be over this Sunday. They'll be able to, Indiana will be able to go to church on Sunday because they won't be playing on Sunday. I'm just going to let you know that early. What I'm most surprised about is McBride. McBride, when I said this earlier too, when McBride plays exceptionally well, the Knicks can win the East. And I'm going to go on the record of that because we kind of expect Josh Hart at this point. He's a guard getting 11 rebounds, 18 points. But when McBride plays well, they are an Eastern Conference championship team if he plays well. And remember I say that, Stats, since you like to keep stats. Remember that because this is like I think the second or third time I brought him up when it came to the Knicks. Sometimes you have those players that's on the team that they're not the main guy. And Mo, this is the same as in football. If this person shows up, we're unstoppable. I think for Miami Dolphins, I used to say that about, what was the guy named, the running back, Mostert. Yeah. Every team should have one of those players that if he shows up, we win it all because he's that much of a difference maker. So you don't always have to be the starter. That's what I would say about this. And I know New York is happier than ever, but in the words of my nigga Killer, I can't get my hopes up too high yet. It ain't sealed until it's sealed. Pause.
But what scares you? What scares you going into Game 6?
Spike Lee, man. Spike scares me. Because he'll say the wrong thing and get them niggas amped up. Now, I'm trying to stop saying nigga, but give me some other words I can use. Crody?
Yeah, I say nigga a whole lot.
I got that from the young boy.
Well, great analysis. I'm just gonna add, Mace, I'm definitely messing with you because our previous episode, I think I said that the Pacers were gonna have it. So it's not like me coming at
Yeah.
preface that. Tyrese Halliburton's definitely gonna have to step it up. He can't score 13 points. The Knicks don't even have like all key players out on the floor, and beating the Pacers by 30. Pacers gonna have to do better. I'm sure everybody in New York had a great time at that game. I can only imagine how it was out in the stands. It's always stressful to go to a basketball game in general, but I just know the energy there was crazy. So again, got to give credit where it's due. Shout out to the Knicks. Jalen Brunson is killing it. I think that every Knicks fan needs to be praising him right now because he's the one that is definitely holding it down for the rest of the team. Not saying that the other players aren't participating to high caliber, but he is that main source. Is he carrying, though, is the question? Do y'all feel like Jalen Brunson is carrying the Knicks?
Yeah,
Yes.
yes, by
Go
far.
ahead, Mo. Go ahead, Mo.
No, it's scary, but it's fun to watch, right? You just see him get the ball, bro, and he's out there just playing isolation, one-on-one. He's using his footwork. It's like he's almost playing like at the playground on a professional level. You know what I'm saying? And then what is his name? I always mess his name up. DiVincenzo or DiVincenzo, however you say it. He's like the crazy white teammate. You know what I'm saying? Who's just like, I've been knowing you for a long time. I'm riding with you, bro. And if you fuck up, I'm gonna try to crash your boards or play crazy defense. You know what I'm saying? But I just look at those two as like, what would you call them? Ghost and Tommy. You know what I'm saying? Off of Power. You know what I'm saying? But they be rocking and rolling, bro. And that's just how I view them. You know what I'm saying? But he's definitely carrying the team. But I said this almost 3 or 4 weeks ago. If he doesn't have that production, I don't know where they get it from. You know what I'm saying? But he's the heart and soul. But it's like, you live by it, you die by it. But it's fun to watch when it's good. But like just like when they're in Indiana, when they find a way to neutralize him, you know what I'm saying? Whether it's if it's trapping him early, getting the ball out of his hand early, forcing other people to get shots open. And I don't know if they just came to New York City and it was overwhelming. Like you have to think about this, man. We talk about these dudes. A lot of these dudes are still young. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these dudes, I could just remember back when I was playing, right? And you go and you see somebody famous sitting in the arena. You know what I'm saying? You go and, when you're in fucking Indiana, no offense, but you got just like regular Joe Schmoes in the stands. You know what I'm saying? But you come to New York City and just the theatrics and rolling up to the game and playing a historical arena and walking in there and knowing how much history, that's a lot of other all of your senses getting overloaded with just like the things that grab your attention. Like when you're in the Midwest, I'm from the Midwest. You drive to the game, you pass on your standard restaurants. Like ain't nobody fighting you to get in the stadium. And so I just think like some of that stuff plays into it. But that's what makes like New York City like the place for rock stars. You know what I'm saying? Because if you can handle all this pressure, pause, and live it up on a big stage, and I can only imagine them fans going crazy out there. And to be able to take all that crazy ass talking, saying fuck you and everything else that's probably going on, that probably is a bit overwhelming for Indiana. I know I kind of went, two different directions, but I just spoke in general what I would think that would occupy, some guys who probably never been in that situation before.
Yeah, I mean, to agree with you, Mo, he is definitely carrying that team.
Mhm.
Brunson is definitely carrying that team. But one thing I would think about, if you're seeing that, what's the guy name? How you said
Even Shinzo or Shinzo, something like that.
DiVincenzo? Yeah, DiVincenzo. I don't know how to say it, man.
And that's okay, Mace. That's okay.
DD, we call a nigga DD. We don't call a nigga Tommy, man. If he's Tommy, and I know 50 Cent loves this. If he's Tommy and Brunson is Ghost, who is Josh Hart?
Shit. I don't know. he part of one of them niggas who was running around. I don't know.
2-bit.
He's 2-bit.
2-bit.
Okay. So moving along. So this is a pretty interesting conversation I've been seeing had. So we know that there's a lot of discussion around who the potential next Lakers head coach should be. A lot of discussion is around JJ Redick. Sources are saying that he might be the answer, which has a lot of pros and cons based off of what people have been saying. But on the Stephen A. Smith show, Stephen A. asked Doc Rivers about his beef with JJ Redick. He said a couple of quotes, but the one that I want you guys' opinion on is where he said, JJ Redick's best numbers of his career was under one coach, and you're looking at him. I'm the one who grabbed him out of Milwaukee and decided to start him. From that point on, his career took off. So how do you feel about him just, throwing that in the discussion and having those comments about JJ Redick, who could be the potential next Lakers head coach?
Mm.
Yeah, to me, that was a classy way of saying shut the fuck up, right? And Doc is an active NBA coach, and I understand he understands that JJ has a job to do, right? But I think that he's probably saying like, JJ, you smart enough, and you need to be made aware that I helped to contribute to you becoming a star when I brought you out here to LA. I seen the clip that you're talking about, and he talked about how he designed like his first place for JJ Redick to get his shots up and to get him in a groove, and which ultimately helped to make you into who you are, which then gives you a post-career life. You know what I'm saying? If you've been a star and you've been featured and somebody gave you props. But then there's a flip side of the coin too, where JJ Redick's personality, what seemed to have caught fire was being brash towards like old media. And guys like Steve, I remember it was one clip that went viral where he told Stephen A, and there was another white guy who was up on the panel. He said, it's clear that you guys have never played professional basketball at a high level. And it was like very like brash and square in your face. And that sort of attitude he's saying has provoked people to like follow him. So I think like it's a fine line. I don't have the personality to I don't know. I wouldn't have the personality, especially a coach. Coaches may be a little bit different with me. Like if it's somebody who I was around before, if it was a player, I can be honest about my interaction with them. But coaches, just because the dynamic of the relationship, I wouldn't hold punches, but I probably wouldn't throw an old coach who probably, assisted me in my career. I probably wouldn't throw him up under the bus on a public platform to kind of, diminish him. So that's just my opinion.
Yeah, now me, I'm new to the media space, so I hear this quote all of the time that we have a job to do. But as I'm studying and perfecting the craft of journalism, I realize that you don't have to throw people under the bus. That's not a part of your job. And I wanna definitely like look into that more and maybe even make some apologies to people because that's not your job. Your job is not to throw people under the bus. Your job is to give your safe assessment and your heart about what it is that from your vantage point, but never to make it as the absolute truth unless it is the absolute truth. And I think many times that, that people are giving journalism and they're giving commentary to things and they're making it as if it's the absolute truth when it's really just their opinion. And we all have a right to our opinion, but this space is not given to just tear people down. A lot of times we're having fun, so I hope people don't take what we're doing that way. But the job is not to tear people down. The job is actually to give the best assessment of what you're looking at. And when I'm looking at JJ Redick, this is my assessment. My assessment of JJ Redick is that he have his attitude is an acquired taste. It won't work for a lot of people. It
Yeah.
would work for some people. And I'm not sure if the Lakers would be the fit of that because because of two reasons. If he talks that way that he normally talks to a person like LeBron, LeBron is not taking that. And then
No.
if other people see him talking to them that way and doesn't see him talking that way to LeBron, then then the locker room is already divided. Does that make sense?
No, I was going to wait for you to finish. Go ahead. It makes perfect sense.
Yeah. So, and I just want to make sure it's making sense along the way, because I wouldn't see him in that kind of program. I think the people there they have no reason to respect them. And a part of being a coach is having the respect of the room. Like
Mhm.
having respect for a person because of their knowledge of the game is different than when you have a aging team and this team needs to win. I don't think that's the time to try a new horse.
Well, I'll
Horse.
say,
You know what I'm saying?
have you ever watched clips on him and LeBron's podcast? I don't know if you ever caught any clips online.
No, I haven't. But fill
Yeah,
me.
yeah. So just the dynamic, and it's just my opinion, right? The dynamic of them two talking is like super detailed X's and O's and philosophies around basketball, how they play, rhyme and reason behind why you run whatever play, whatever, right? But when you see like just the interaction, it seems more like an interview towards LeBron, right? It looks like a long formatted interview and not very engaging. And sometimes, like the way that you start a relationship with people, it kind of like stays in that bucket, right? And it feels like LeBron is guiding more of the conversation and guiding it, right? And so when you think about who they'll make the coach, it's kind of like, to your point, it's like I couldn't see me sitting on a podcast with you and you teaching me, and then now we're going on an NBA court and where I talk in so much idolization of you that I then say, yo, Mase, do this, do that, when the whole time our interaction in the public forum has been you dictating what's going on. That's like just a small thing that I get from watching their podcast. And I was like, man, could this dude really actually do this? Could you be harsh on somebody? And I think even LeBron is like, I don't know if enigma is the right word, but he's been around for so long and has accomplished so much. I say, who can coach him? Without him taking up space and saying, "Hey, I'm LeBron and I know more than you." And that's probably a question: is there anybody out here who has the personality or the wherewithal or just even the bandwidth to coach somebody like LeBron? Do you know anybody?
Yeah, Eric Spoelstra. All the people that
Oh,
won with him, they had his respect. All the people that won with him, I repeat that again. All the people that won with him had his absolute respect.
let me ask this: did it come from Eric Spoelstra or did it come from Pat Riley?
Um, it would have to come from Eric Spoelstra. Even if you got Pat Riley in the background, it boils down to the person that's on that bench and what they're saying. And that's what I'm thinking about. Not that JJ Redick, I'm not here to say he can't coach, because I truly believe he will do a great job because of his passion and his compassion for the game. But I'm not sure if you start right there with that team. That's more so what I'm speaking to. A team that need to turn around their losing ways. I'm not sure that happens with the person that we're talking about. That's what I'm saying. And if you think about
No,
it, we didn't even get into the part about Doc Rivers. Just think about Doc Rivers. Doc Rivers' issue with him is a question of honor, and honor goes a
yeah,
long way. This is the person that put his job on the line to put you in the game,
yes.
right? And when nobody else was, nobody else was starting um JJ Redick, right? But
No,
Doc
he's in
started.
Milwaukee.
Yeah, nobody was starting him. I'm saying at Milwaukee. He brings him to a better market and puts him as the starter. So
Yep.
in Doc Rivers' eyes, he's rightfully so. I made your career. Then people start looking at you a certain way. And
Mhm.
then when you leave there, do you remember it being the same? It's just a question. No shot at JJ Redick. Do you remember his career after he left the Clippers? All
No.
right. So he's saying your best days were under my coaching. So even though you have a lot of issues with me, that's possible. Sometimes you have issues with the best coach because they push you the hardest. and they got the best out of you. So I think, is right to give both sides if that's the side. I wasn't there. I'm just speaking from this point. So nobody take that feel a need to reply to me because it's not worth a reply. And when you think of the situation, he says things like, um, he left there, things, and I'm not quoting him verbatim, but he didn't sign back. Not even what he said. This is what we know. He didn't sign back with the Clippers, right? But then Doc says he stopped playing them because he was ineffective in the playoffs. And sometimes people don't recognize that. Like, yeah, you were playing better when it was regular season games, but when we get in the playoffs, we're trying to win, and the same you is not showing up. And it's
He
so
probably
easy. It's so easy, like rappers. It's always them when it goes good, and then when it goes bad, it's the label. You know what I'm saying? The label. When they give you the money, they're shopping, everything is all good. When it goes wrong, the label ain't pushing my music. Like the label doesn't want to move units. You know what I'm saying? Like the coach is not playing me because if I'm out there, we'll win by 30. You know what I'm saying? It's this
hey,
it's the same craziness.
no, I'll say this in addition to that. I lost the train of thought earlier, but let's not also forget that people that comment around, I'm just doing my job. Some people use that to say slick ass shit to people. You know what I'm saying? And so when I heard JJ say that to Stephen A, like I look at somebody's body language, their tone of voice, or how they deliver a message to somebody, and I say, man, was that called for? You know what I'm saying? And so we also have to realize that like people in the name of media and in the name of these fake ass blanket statements to kind of get them out of shit, people will have their little Freudian slips and say little slick ass shit to people, uh, things that they probably mean. And even when you're talking about that, I wonder if JJ held some resentment. And this is my chance, since I have a national platform, to throw jabs at you or diminish your shine, because it's my moment now.
Yeah, and I want people to know that's something I'll never do. And that's why I made that correction in the beginning of this show, because we need more trusted voices when it comes to sports, and not people who are bitter because of something that didn't have in the past. And now they're trying to change the trajectory of other people's lives through their commentary.
That's a very, very good point. And I love that you guys both had different perspectives. And that's important note that Mase made, because obviously words are strong, especially in this day and age with social media.
Yeah.
People using it to get people, and that might not even be the truth. So you got to make sure you got to do your own research. That's what comes down with journalism. Even when you listen to your favorite, sportscasters, stuff like that, make sure you put forth your own research, because that is opinion based and people run with it and think that is truth and fact when it's not always that. So I did want to ask you guys, because I think this is a little bit of a deeper discussion. Doc basically keeps explaining how being a head coach is not as easy as people would think. And I know he's basically saying if JJ Redick is granted that position, it'll be a lot harder than he thinks it would be. Just in general, do you guys feel like Doc is getting too much heat, or do you just feel like that's just, what comes with the job?
Oh,
Let me
I
go,
think.
let me go first and
Go
pause
ahead.
on. Doc, you got to shut your mouth, Doc, for real. Because it's not what you say, it's how you say it. And sometimes it's when you say it about who you're saying it about. So if you take this opportunity and you say this now, it definitely look like he's going against who? For $300 right now. Who does it sound like he's going against if a job is on the line and the niggas say, well, coaching is not that easy. Well, we're only talking about one new guy getting a coaching job. You see how it can be linked? People got to start being as smart as they are and stop letting the internet put them in drama. Because in media training, they would tell you, don't answer that. Don't answer that. You don't even have to give an answer to that. They're asking you about coaching. to link you with JJ Redick. So when you take that quote and you say, well, coaching is not that easy, you know where they're going to put that. What do you say about people, JJ Redick, who says coaching is not that easy? And now they're putting them against each other. And that's why when I would do interviews, people are like, yo, I'm one of the hardest people to interview because I understand all of the spinning that people are trying to do. And they're trying to ask you questions, and you necessarily don't have to answer that. You have to be smart enough to turn the conversation back to what you want the conversation to be about. It would be no different than people everywhere I would go. They would ask me, what is it like working with Puff Daddy? Right? They'll put the focus right there. It's on me to say, hey, and with a smile, hey, if you would like to interview Puff, I probably can hook y'all up. But I'm not here for his questions. But no disrespect. And they were
So
like, so when is the album coming out? Then the interview becomes back about you, you know. But it is very rude for somebody to interview you about somebody else. They're basically saying you're not that important.
Pretty much.
And I get that 1000%. Maurice, before you go, I just want to clarify. So Doc basically did say that directly about JJ Redick because the quote says, I really hope he gets the job because then he'll understand some of the things that he has a problem with me and other coaches that you hear in his podcast. He'll realize it's not as easy as you think. And some of these decisions that you have to make are brutal. So it was kind of JJ basically just saying like, look, like.
So he basically want him to get the job so he can learn his lesson.
Precisely. So let's give me.
What you say, Mo? Is that racism or reverse racism at this point?
No, he's from the start of this. From the start of this, he was telling JJ to shut the fuck up. Even when Stat just read that, he's still telling JJ, I can't wait till your ass deal with some of the shit that I had to deal with when I was in that position. Pause, right? And he basically saying, motherfucker, you talk like this shit is so easy, but you haven't had to get here and game plan and deal with 10 and 12 attitudes and deal with a motherfucker who make $40 million a year and deal with motherfuckers.
Baby mothers need more front row seats. Yo, but is this reverse racism though? If a white guy says that to a black athlete, will not we, because I'm not just black.
What are you then? Get him, Stat, man.
Stat didn't like that. Stat didn't like that.
Response to that.
I'm not just black.
He got a response.
I'm not just black, you know. I just would like to make that clear. I am African American, but I'm not just black, you know.
All right. What you got your ancestry back or something, man? Ancestry.com.
23. What they call it?
23 or what? 23 and me. What is it? 23 and me? Yeah.
My 23 and me said I'm from Pharaohs.
From where?
I'm from Pharaohs. My son traced it all the way back to Ramsey III. My bloodline goes back to Ramsey III. I don't know who that. I heard of Ramsey. So I'm just trying to give y'all a little history. My son said, that's why you talk the way you talk. You think you're not subject to anyone. I say, yeah, that may be the reason. Who is Ramsey III? You looking it up, Nick? I hope you're looking it up. Ramsey III.
We're gonna figure it out before the show.
Yeah, but that's what it said.
It's a pharaoh, the last great king of the new kingdom, so Egyptian royalty.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. That's what we're
Right.
dealing with. Okay.
Yeah, that's what we're dealing with. So I can't wait to Cam get back. Cam, you're dealing with the descendant of Ramsey the third. You should do yours. Stat, we might find out you come from Nefertiti. Who knows?
I will actually do the test just for y'all.
Yeah.
I'm
And you too, Nick and Mo. We want to know where you come from on 23andMe.
we'll do it.
We
And
got
then-
you. You down with this, Nick? You cool? You gonna get it?
Yeah.
There you go.
All right.
And then last follow-up question before we go to break. I'm just curious on you guys' thoughts about JJ Redick and LeBron's relationship. That's like a big topic of discussion right now. Do you guys feel like because they're close and have a podcast that will cause distrust in the team?
Yeah, I personally don't. I don't want to see it happen. I had two things. I remember it was when they first came out with the podcast. I remember Draymond Green was mad about, he threw some shots at LeBron. Like, man, come on, that was our idea. You're supposed to roll with me with that, right? And I was kind of with Draymond. I don't want to see LeBron buttoned up and talking X's and O's. I want to see LeBron on the podcast just being just regular old brother. You know what I'm saying? Just enjoying life and talking shit, right? That's just my personal opinion, though. But with JJ Redick, to answer your question, I don't want to see him be the Lakers coach. Not at all. I want him to be an NBA coach, but I don't care to see him be the Lakers coach to have that out there with LeBron. Just my opinion.
What team would you say you want him to coach before I give my assessment?
I think
we're
actually
thinking the same exact thing. What kind of team?
Just a younger team. I think you were correct. I don't know if you said or Stat said it, but he's very knowledgeable. He's a very knowledgeable guy. He was a great player within his own right. Just because he didn't have a great NBA career, or he had a long career.
You said great player?
No. So I just remember him from college. I remember him coming out of high school.
College, he was a great player.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, right? So, but that doesn't minimize his contributions to just sports. All right, some people are great college players and just don't pan out in the NBA for a number of reasons, but he was a great player. I think he's a knowledgeable guy. When he explains basketball, he explains it in a way where I can understand it, so I can see that piece of it, right? I think from an older person, and I was trying to be like nice with words, he has like a stogie, old school Duke mentality. I think rubs people the wrong way. Pause, right?
Yeah, not Duke. He has a Bobby Knight type of persona.
Yeah, so I think for younger guys who just they're younger and they're growing into themselves and they can listen to a coach like that, that's cool. But people who your age, your peers, people who are a little bit older, that shit ain't gonna work. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like I don't see that working with Anthony Davis.
No.
Now, just everybody, just imagine him talking to Anthony Davis on the sideline after a play that Anthony Davis should have done something different. And now him and JJ Redick is at the half court and he's trying to talk to AD. What kind of face you think AD is making?
Who the fuck you talking to? Or disinterested? Yeah.
Or indifferent is the word. It's like, yeah, whatever, man. And I do think he would make a great coach. And when I ask questions, JJ, if he's watching this, definitely don't take it anyway, because what our show is like the barbershop. If you want to know what they're saying in the barbershop, this is what they're saying. So if you're not ready to hear, stay out the barbershop, because this is what they're saying. The streets are going to say it a different way than how they're going to say it on Fox or Disney. So when I ask that question, I asked it with passion, because that's how people act. It's not that he cannot be any of these things. It's just saying that from this vantage point, I don't see nobody listening to him. Niggas is not listening to no JJ Redick. Ron is not. And if LeBron have him there, it's just because it is his man, or it's somebody he can run what he wants through that coach. And
I,
that's the thing that makes me give LeBron a lot of Paul's heat, because he runs things the way he wants to run it, and then when it goes wrong, it's somebody else's fault. I don't like that, and I'll go on record to say I don't like that, because I know if we was in the hood, what we would call that. You know more what you would call that. This nigga want to make all the rules. Then when something go wrong, he ain't have nothing to do with it. He want out of the car. You know what I'm saying? And this is the gripe that I have with LeBron. I love him as a player. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, I get it.
mentality, we could talk about that with any person, but the thing that is the most troubling for me is that it's never 100% him when it goes wrong. But when it goes right, it's all him.
But
Nigga, you ain't God, nigga. Only God can say that if it's good, it's me. If it's wrong, it's y'all niggas, man. Y'all niggas did something wrong. Because I'm perfect, you know?
no, his talent has allowed him to do that for all these years.
And that's
And
wrong. That's
yeah,
wrong.
yeah.
I'm
I
gonna
mean,
go
but
out and say it. It's wrong. He's a
yeah, listen,
phenomenal player. He's gonna go down wherever he go down with different people. We're not even gonna get into that. But that's the number one gripe with all the basketball purists. And everybody that's not on his payroll or on his podcast would tell him that's the truth. The truth is you're responsible more than you would like to take credit for in public. And it wouldn't diminish who you are, LeBron. It'll actually make you better. Even as great as you are right now, it'll make you better for people to see you say, you know what, right here, I got to do better. Right? We should not lose to this team, whether Anthony Davis was here or not. That's on me. And at the moment, I am not able to do that. I should retire. People would respect that because that's
but
what we're thinking.
I think you fighting two things. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
And we're gonna go to break. Okay.
No, I was about to say I think you fighting two things. I just look at just the amount of pressure that was put to be perfect for him, right? And I understand we all come up around the same time. And what I've seen probably over the last 20 years, this my opinion, right? Just I need to fit this mold and fit this image, and I have to walk this line, and that becomes the most important thing. And
You
so
see
when
my face, Scott?
I'm giving my opinion. Listen to me. I'm just giving my opinion as to why I believe that he takes the positions he takes, because this fits my brand, this fits my image, this fits what I want to portray to the public. And I think like if you view it through that lens, whether you view right or wrong, he may feel it's right if he's accomplishing what he wants to accomplish, right? And then but you've seen it. Okay, you've seen this, right, from a different perspective, right? Not in any other way. The person with the most talent, the most access, the most power, a lot of people can't be honest with them. You know what I'm saying? The people next to you, like, what's the saying? They said, if the lie pays the bills, then it's hard for everybody to tell the truth. And I know I might have gotten that wrong, but you get the gist of what I'm saying.
Yeah,
And
that's good.
so,
That's
yeah,
a good
so
lie.
yeah, so if I say anything against what I know that may be a core of how you feel, I'm then disparaged. I have to go away from you. And so everybody lies to you. And I'm not saying that everybody's around him is lying, but the people next to you just don't be, they're not honest with you, right? Just because it's
They
this
will have to
perfect
leave.
image.
They will have to get a new job.
Yeah.
And they're doing you a disservice, because right before we go to break, I was really thinking about this and saying, then the whole idea of king is misunderstood, because all kings have to go to war. All kings have to deliver the people. It is never on the other people to deliver them. It's always on a king to deliver the people. That's a part of being king. King, you get to live royal because you're the person who won the war. You're the person who gets the spoils because you went to war, and you're king because you delivered the people with your sword. All kings have to go to war. So you don't get to blame somebody else because kings die in war or they come out of the war. They don't live with defeat.
That was a word. All right, y'all. We are going to go to break. When we return, we will discuss the Nuggets versus the Timberwolves. Don't go anywhere.
Pink horsepower.
She called this thing about toxic.
What's happening, baby? Baby, what's happening?
Why you walking like that?
That's how I walk.
And then like you come on breathing on me like that.
I fucking breathe to live.
And like you used to be dark skinned and now you act like hella light skinned.
Are you fucking blind? I'm dark skinned. What the fuck?
And then like look at your beard.
What the fuck is wrong with
Your
my
beard looks
beard?
stupid.
What the fuck are you talking about?
No, I don't even like it. The way you breathe in all of that.
Has this ever happened to you? Your girl seems to be mad, angry, upset. She's frustrated. It's only one way to handle that. Pink horsepower.
But your breath is really refreshing.
No.
I'm just trying to give you a massage. Plus, have I told you how good your beard looks lately? It looks so good.
No.
PHP. It works every time.
Wait, where you going?
Welcome back. Now let's get into our Underdog Fantasy picks of the day. So the Celtics will play the Cavs. Underdog Fantasy has Jason Tatum at 29.5 points. Mase, and I'm higher or lower?
28.5 points.
29.5.
Tatum?
Yes.
I'm gonna go higher, Tatum. You see I'm wearing my Celtic green. We back. We back.
Is crazy. Okay. Jaylen Brown is at 7 rebounds, aka Batman. You got him higher or lower?
You're not gonna let Mo give his voice? Mo, you think the nigga gonna have 29 points higher or lower, Mo?
I think he'll have more than 29 points. It's time to close
you
it out.
on cold Cam, mess up Cam record. Go ahead.
I'm going higher because he's they looking to close it out.
Yeah, go. Everybody's watching this. Whatever Mo says, go with cold Cam. What else did you say, Stat?
And then
Jaylen Brown.
Jaylen Brown 7 rebounds.
Yeah, I'm going. He's above 7 rebounds. You go. They back home, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to close it out at home. So I'm going both. And I'm gonna tell you who I got this from. Nick. Nick told me, man, the playoffs are a lot more predictable. Everybody's playing a little bit tougher. So there's no way you going home and you can close these guys out to stop you from going back to Cleveland. You ain't gonna do everything you can do. That's just my opinion.
But Nick told you that. Nick from Underdog or Nick from MMA Nick?
MMA Nick.
Oh man, you gotta watch him, man. You gotta watch him. I'm going higher with Batman. That's Batman.
Okay, and Donovan Mitchell's at 38.5 points, rebounds, and assists.
Ooh. I'll go higher. Yeah.
Okay, download the Underdog Fantasy app and you can make your picks too. So before we close, we got to discuss the Nuggets in the Timberwolves game. Nuggets defeated the Timberwolves 112-97. Jokic received his 3rd career MVP award before the game. I just want to have a general discussion, right? How do you guys feel about Jokic's career this far? And then I also want to add the note, previously in an episode, we talked about how Jokic always does well in big moments and how LeBron, it seems like in big moments, he kind of misses that opportunity. So I want to hear you guys' opinion on that. And then them winning the game.
Yeah, what's up, too?
That's amazing that even a woman could see that. That's amazing. Amazing. But Mo ain't gonna say that. Mo from Ohio. We're gonna let him rock. Go ahead, Mo.
Hey, well, listen. At least I put my bias out there a long time ago. That's my man. I got a lot of love for it. But how about this? I'm man enough to give the criticisms and the love to him. You know what I'm saying? He knows that. Mav know that. Rich know that. The whole nine. And I think it's fair. But in regards to Jokic, I don't know. I sat here and seen him play yesterday, and I tell you, man, it's like him. And when I look at Jalen Brunson, you have these super intense moments. It's a playoff moment, but these dudes be seeming calm and zen as ever. And I just think to myself, like, when you playing in the playoffs, and I seen where Rudy was trying to guard him, and man, I'm talking about his footwork was immaculate. Catching the ball, like he was basically doing anything he wanted to him in the low post. And I just thought to myself, I said, man, this dude seems so calm, collected, and he's executing at a high level, and the other team doesn't even seem relevant, right? And even when they was kicking their ass early, like I think it was like the second quarter I was watching, there was like no sense of leadership from the Timberwolves. And I don't know if that had to do with Mike Conley being out and you just don't have that veteran presence. I don't know if Anthony Edwards hasn't grown into who he's supposed to be personally and socially. I don't know if, Mike Conley has so much influence over the team that when he's out of there, nobody knows how to step into the number 2 space. You know what I'm saying? And so when I look at it, I just said to myself, I was like, man, it's basically it's just unbelievable as to, how Denver pulled this out. And it looks like they're going to go make another championship run. And I just don't think that the Timberwolves, I think that they had a few moments. I think Ant-Man, just like when I talked to y'all about the lights being big and you having your moments in Madison Square Garden, I also think right now, I don't want to say Ant-Man has ran out of gas, but he doesn't have those pieces around him right now, I think, to chase it. And even at Karl Anthony Towns, like he just looked like fucking spaced out. Like it looked like, he was, I don't know. He just didn't seem like, I don't know. Their body language and their attitude just didn't give off championship vibes the way that Denver did. That's just my take.
So when did this change for you? What game?
When did this change? I don't know. Today or yesterday? Yesterday they when I just seen it, it just like. So they came out 2-0, and I was like, man, this is Ant-Man's the moment. He has the hype. He has the moment. He's Jordan-esque, and he has the whole world, calling him the second coming of it all, right? And that can have you going home and reading text messages and listening to people and buying into that, right? But then you also have somebody who's been a fucking champion. And you have older guys like, who the fuck is this dude, right? And so just as charismatic as Ant-Man is, and he's on TV and doing interviews and looking at other people like, well, who the fuck are they? And he's swagging how he doing. There's other people who take offense to that, right? And they say, okay, you talented motherfucker, but we know how to neutralize you. And you look at what Mike Conley going down. If you just look at the game, if like people go back and just look at it, leadership shows up. Like when you look at New York, you say, Jalen Brunson is the leader of this team, and they'll live and die with him, right? And you look at Denver, you'll say, okay, you'll look at Jokic and you'll say, this is the focal point of that, and like he'll be that guy. Or you look at OKC and you'll say SGA or whatever, right? When you look at this game, Ant-Man didn't show up in the first half. You know what I'm saying? That's just a fact. Like he just wasn't nowhere to be found inside of this moment. And so
Which game?
This last game, he just wasn't a factor. That's what I'm saying.
Which game is that? I don't know which game you saw.
Just the last one was between Minnesota and Denver. What is it? Game 5? Was that game? Yeah, that was game 5. So game 5, and I'm just thinking about momentum. They're going to take that momentum from stopping him and then beating him decisively. I don't see how you come back from that. You know what I'm saying? Like once you got your foot on their neck and you've been a champion last year, you're like, oh man, we can crush these motherfuckers, right? if you go look at Rudy Gobert, if you go look at Karl Anthony Towns, if you just looked at their body language throughout the game, it wasn't convincing to me or to anybody that they thought that they can win. That's just my opinion. And I don't know, like once you smell blood and then once you see, okay, we need to get on to either the Mavs or OKC, I don't see these dudes letting up and getting it done. That's just I think that Denver's going to get it done.
Yeah, this is really a lot, honestly, to think about because they were up 2-0.
Yeah.
Now they're down 3-2. And this speaks to what I was speaking about earlier. Just not knowing, not assessing moments. Like talent is one thing. Having the IQ and the intellect to basically zone in on this moment is a skill. And when I hear commentators talk, it seemed like this particular part of being an athlete is missing. Like really understanding that we're up 2 and we need this game, not in a conversation, in a mentality. So what that says is, though I can score 40, I'll do whatever we need to do to win. You ever hear people say that? I'll do whatever we need to do to win. But the IQ says, I know what I have to do to win. And you do it. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like I could get 40, but if we win at me getting 3 points and 12 rebounds, then I have to be smart enough to get 3 points and 12 rebounds because that's where we win. Instead of I can get 30, 40, and you go and get the 30 and 40, but we lose the actual game. And that's what I know I'm speaking to when I'm looking at all of these talented basketball players. It doesn't seem like they really understand that. They understand, what do I actually have to do for this team to win, and actually night after night show up and do that part. And for that reason, that's why when it comes to my top 3 in the NBA, it's always Jordan, Kobe, and I got LeBron and Magic tied for 3, because just understanding what time it is.
Yeah, but I mean, even what you're saying that is like, and I'm even glad you said that. There's a lot of people who can't even separate the skill level that it takes to go play the game versus it's one thing to kick somebody's ass when they don't expect you to kick their ass, right? So, we
Yeah.
don't expect these guys to come out here and beat us these first 2 games. You go and beat them. It's
Mhm.
another one to say, hey, man, I'm prepared for you. I want to fight you. I'm prepared for all the stuff that you have, but then to mentally dial in and overcome whatever that is. That's
Yeah.
a completely different thing when somebody expects you to do something and you still impose your will on them or impose whatever game plan that you have is going to, or whatever game plan that you put in place, you're able to execute that thing on the basketball court. So I get exactly what you're saying, but
Yeah, it's
that,
like, we're running the ball and we're running the ball.
yes,
Stop it. Stop it.
yes, and
That's even crazier. The whole arena knows that Mahomes is running this ball. They know it. They know it as soon as they see it. They see the lineup, they see the scheme. They know when he throws it, the ball is going to Kelsey. Now stop it.
yeah. But that's a whole different mentality. That
It's not an
mentality.
excuse.
Oh, but that mentality is different. The conditioning you do to get to that space to say, hey, I want this moment. You know what I'm saying? You can stay in the entertainment space where I'm pretty sure you've just seen this throughout
Yeah,
your
it's the
entire life.
same thing. It's like you're an artist, you could rap, but you're not willing to do what's necessary,
Yeah.
to be on top. No. So being willing to do what's necessary, and I mean from a legal, ethical point, not no
Yeah.
crazy, because you gotta,
Disclaimer.
Put that disclaimer out there. But being willing to do what's necessary legally and ethically to be a star is the same thing in music, whether it's in sports. And some people are willing and some people are not.
Good
And
point.
we know the difference.
Okay. Well, Maurice, thank you for being here.
My people, make sure you 23andMe. We're gonna check in with you in a
Yeah.
couple weeks. That
Yeah, I'll do it. That's dope.
Because you know where I'm from. I'm from Ramsey the Third.
Ramsey the Third.
I'm royalty. Yeah, make sure I get that. And then for you guys watching, make sure you guys purchase a shirt. But that is all the time that we have for today. Thanks for watching. And as always, it is what it is.
Out of here. All right.